Hello, my name's Adam Cook, and I'm here with Tom Reagan. Hello, mate.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. Not as good as you, because you have just reviewed Watch Dogs for God is a Geek, and you've given it a big 9 out of 10.
I have.
You played a lot of it, but have you hit the 40-hour mark yet? I think you must be nearly around that, surely.
I'm pretty sure I have. Like, as I said, it was a good 33 or 34 hours just of the story alone, and then I had to come back and do some side quests and, just cause a bit of open world mayhem. So it's got
That's
to be
right.
easily 40 hours.
So, I mean, you can go and read Tom's review, and if you're watching this video, there'll be a link right there you can click that and do that right now. But wanted to talk to you about a few things because the biggest question that's going to be asked, and it's only your personal opinion that you can answer this, is does it live up to the hype?
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, obviously every massive game, is majorly hyped, but Watch Dogs takes the biscuit on this one. Like, it's been ridiculously anticipated ever since its reveal at E3 in 2012. But I don't know. I think it does, to be honest. It's obviously when there's that much hype, it's hard to say whether it lives up to it. But it is a really great game, and the hacking feels amazing. So I'd have to say yes.
So I must admit, to begin with, I wasn't sold on the hacking. Just to begin with, because it looked a little bit like press square to win. But
Yeah.
the more I saw of it, the more it stopped seeming like that. And like you said, it seems pretty cool. There's a bit in the video review where you're being chased by the police, and you hit a button and it pulls the barriers up, and the police are coming out of a side street and they smash straight into that. How prevalent is that sort of stuff? Is it everywhere?
Oh, it's great. Well, basically, like initially, you can only hack into traffic lights and a couple of other things. But as you go, like, every time you do a side quest or main quest, you level up, and then you can, if you choose to specialize in hacking, you can unlock, bollards and steam pipes. And then, like you said, if police are chasing you, you'll see in like your peripheral vision, it will it will flash up as they're coming, and then if you time it right and press square, if you have unlocked all those things, you can, stop all the police with everything around you, it just feels great. It just feels really satisfying, as you said, just like when the police are just about to get you and you stop them and just see them all smash up and, cause a burnout style crash. It's great.
The really weird thing is I mean, we talked about the hype and how the game was coming out at one point and then it didn't, and that delay, it was almost like it was so they could do more trailers, because I kind of stopped watching them because I just was getting to the point where I wanted to play this game, but like enough was enough. Like, I don't want to see any more of it.
Yeah.
I've seen people tweeting like I feel like I've played it already. I didn't realize at all that, of course, with these hacks, as you say, it's progressive. You don't start the game being able to do everything then.
No, you don't at all. You get the basic stuff like the traffic lights, which is obviously from the first reveal, which is just always really fun. Like, I'm sure you saw in the videos that I sent you that sometimes I just make cars crash into each other for the hell of it. But yeah, no, quite a lot of the more interesting hacks are completely optional. Like, you don't need them. Like, you don't need any of these to progress really in the story. But yeah, and if you want to just progress, like specialize in combat and driving, you can. But hacking's where all the fun is in this game, and there's a great amount to unlock really.
There's one bit I really thought was cool, and it's probably pointless. I don't know if there's any real need to it, but there's a point where you're running towards a train, and you hack the train, and you stop the train presumably to get on it.
Yeah, that's quite often, again, that's just fun, but it can be
Yeah.
really useful if you're being pursued, because you can say if the police are after you and the train's leaving the station, you can stop it, jump on, and then fast travel away. So that's pretty
That's pretty
handy.
cool.
Yeah.
So the other thing is every NPC has got something about them. Like
Yeah.
you can focus on them, get information about them, and you can hack phone calls. How? Because it's you said about like 40 hours. How much does it repeat, or is like everything? Is it all original? Do you start to see repeating?
Well, in terms of like the assigned subtitle and like text information, it definitely doesn't repeat. And
That's impressive for the
yeah, it
record. That's
is.
very impressive.
And some are really hilarious as well. There was just like one of the first guys I saw was clown enthusiast, which is and puppet fetishist and stuff like that.
Nice.
There's just some interesting stuff. But yeah, what impressed me is, like, as you saw as well, when you walk past people, some people you can hack. You get to read through their text messages, and you also get to eavesdrop on a bit of a phone call, like a bit of audio plays
Yeah.
for you. And those I did find nearer the end of my playthrough that I had heard one conversation, I think twice, but considering that's in 40 hours, I think that's pretty good.
That's not bad at all. Um, the elephant in the room, I suppose, is Grand Theft Auto 5, because the more you learn about Watch Dogs, the more that you realise it is less. To me, it looks less Assassin's Creed and more open world sort of GTA style game. But some of the things that there was, people do in GTA, like the holding up of the shops and stuff. I mean, there's a clip in our video review where you do exactly that, and it kind of looked more fluid.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, definitely, like, as you said, it is massively influenced by GTA. I mean, you can't deny it. Like, pretty much everything from it feels like it's, Ubisoft's take on Assassin's Creed. But yeah, those kind of things do feel really fluid. Like as you said in that scene with the shop, like you can just choose to buy things, or you can just tap left trigger, and suddenly everything changes. And people's reactions, the NPCs' reactions, I think are a lot more believable. Like if you're driving around, if you drive through a park, they will jump out the way and stuff. Or in GTA 5, they kind of just stand around and like look a bit confused. But
how is the driving? Like, how's the handling? Because it looks like a bigger part of the game than I realised it was.
Well, yeah, I actually felt it was quite decent. Like, initially, I wasn't convinced, but it's not quite as fluid as GTA's. But every car feels very different, and it's not as clunky as I thought it would be. Because I'd heard from other members of the press that in a preview it was really clunky, but they must have fixed it. Because yeah, it still feels great to drive.
And while we're talking sort of just base mechanics, shooting and everything, again, you can see it in the video review. In fact, there's one part in there I've really liked. I think it was like the gang hideouts that you were doing. I really like the look of that, because we talked previously about like variation in missions, and that really shows it. I love the way you started off very stealthily, but then it sort of went to pot, and you had to end up just having to get the guns out. But the gunplay's solid. It's good.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a massive selection of weapons as well, and as I'm sure you've seen, and I'm not sure if other people know if they've been watching the footage or reading the previews, but you get a similar kind of Red Dead slow down mechanic, which you just can pause time for a bit.
Just for the record, I had no idea that was in there until I saw it.
Yeah, no, nor did I. Again,
is that a skill, or just it's there? It's always there.
You always get it, but you can upgrade it. So if you choose to, you can make slowdown last longer, or you can take less damage when slowed down and stuff. So yeah, it's really cool. It makes combat a lot of fun. Obviously, if you think you're about to die and you're surrounded, you can quickly slow down time and have a bit of a Max Payne Matrix moment. It's good.
So we haven't talked about it yet. Visually, it looks impressive, I'd say, but it doesn't look as impressive as it did before, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's fair to say?
100%. It is a gorgeous looking game, but it's the problem. Like, I think Ubisoft are quite guilty of this anyway as a company, but it didn't help that when they initially showed that trailer at E3 2012, obviously the hardware hadn't been nailed down, so that was running on a much more powerful PC, and yeah, it still looks nice, but it doesn't look, as good as that.
I mean, we even got some, I think it was behind closed doors, hands-off at E3 2013, I think it was, where there was just a dev playing it, and I think it even looked better there. So it is a bit, like you say, the hardware wasn't quite 100% nailed down. But I mean, it does look good, though. It's not... It looks like a game on new consoles, doesn't it, I guess?
Oh, 100%. I mean, so some of it doesn't look incredible, but there are parts that still wow me, like especially, I don't know if you've seen the footage, because quite often the water footage, because quite often
very
just,
nice.
like jumping in boats, and like the water effects and all the textures and the rocks look really great. So yeah, it is a nice looking game, but I think people might be a little bit disappointed.
A lot of that stuff, though, like you mentioned the boats, again, it was something I'd never really figured would even be in the game.
Yeah, same.
It kind of makes sense that it is, but it's like with... I'm sure, was it the GTA series that at one point you couldn't even go near water, you'd die, and eventually they sort of progressively, like now you can get in the water, now you can drive boats, and it was kind of like, it felt like, because Watch Dogs was the first Watch Dogs, like I wonder if but there isn't. It's looks very complete.
Yeah, no, everything's really done really well in that. Again, when I was at the review event, I was chatting to a press member, and he was saying that when he realised that there was water in Watch Dogs, because in Assassin's Creed 1 you couldn't swim. Yeah. He was just like, should I jump in? Is it going to kill me? It's going to be like a massive mistake. But But no, yeah, it seems like they've taken people's criticism generally for GTA and other open world games, and it's really feature complete, as you said. So
Yeah. So the online, I suppose, is the only thing we haven't really talked about. It sounds very, very impressive. Again, there's a clip in the video review, which again there will be an annotation. You can click that right now, which shows pretty much what you're talking about. In that you can be doing an online race, and then all of a sudden you're back in your world.
yeah,
And that, it's, again, hate to keep comparing it, but that kind of sounds more impressive than GTA because
Yep.
that's very much. I mean, that it's not, but oh no, it was on 2 discs, wasn't it? GTA. It very much felt like this is disc 1 and disc 2 sort of thing, like a Battlefield. There's the online, there's the offline, but this is all integrated, isn't it?
well, yeah, as you said, like when you boot the menu in GTA 5, you have to choose whether you want to boot the story mode or the online. I mean,
Yep.
they can't be any more separated. Whereas here, whether you're just running around or doing a mission or whatever you're doing, like an invite will pop up in the corner, and then you can, if you accept it, there'll be a slight loading screen to take you to that place. But when it finishes, it's crazy that the players will just disappear, and all the carnage left over from the race will still be there, and suddenly you'll be back in the single player. It really impressed me. It blew my mind at first. I was like, this is crazy how seamless it is.
And the online's fun. I mean, it's sort of more fun, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like online races is what you expect, but it's still, still great fun. Obviously, with the online races as well, although it's mainly racing, you can use a bit of hacking to slow people down, like to kind of, cheat and get an edge on them. But the most impressive and like unique online part, as I said in the review, was the kind of one-on-one hacking stuff, where it's kind of like Assassin's Creed, and when you get invaded or when someone comes to hack, they try and hide in your world because you have to sit in a zone and hack them. And so it's quite funny just watching people trying to blend in with NPCs, and then you see like a half crashed car into a wall, and you're like, well, there they are. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, it's really
What about
good.
sort of like verticality? Because there was some original. I think there was a trailer or like one of those. Hey, here's some footage that they released where there were like Aiden was on top of a building. I'm guessing you can't just go in any building in the game.
No.
I mean, that would be like incredible, but no one does that. But you can get on top of buildings. But can you fly? Like I see helicopters attack you. I'm guessing you can't get in anything like that just yet.
No. Yeah, you do get, obviously, as in GTA, there's like different levels of, wanted levels and stuff.
Yeah.
And when you get the highest one or the one before the highest one, helicopters will come up to you. But no, sadly, I haven't encountered anywhere where you can fly a helicopter, and I haven't really climbed on many buildings. I mean, there's a couple of missions where you have to escape from places, and you eventually come on top of a building. But nah, it would have been cool if there were planes, but it is the first game. So.
Oh yeah, I mean they'll hold that for Watch Dogs too, won't they? But what sort of in terms of world size? It's Chicago, isn't it? Is it how big is that map? And is it got enough content that it's because my complaint about a lot of open world games is that people go, oh yeah, it's bigger than Game X, but unless it's got like Assassin's Creed 3 essentially was massive but just didn't have the content, whereas GTA 5 was massive and did have the content. What does this sit? Which side of the fence is that on?
I don't think it's as big as GTA 5, to be honest, but yeah, I mean, the city is kind of split into like 4 or 3 main kind of big areas, but they all feel different. And I think, as you said with Assassin's Creed 3, like a lot of that world just felt really empty. But because of Watch Dogs, because of the way, like even just the characterization of the NPCs and stuff, it doesn't feel empty. I think there's enough variation for you to explore and not get bored, really. So
cool. Well, you can find Tom on Twitter, can't you?
You can at Grape Dos Mill.
Right, I've always wondered what it means, but fair enough.
There's a song by a band called Glassjaw, which I love, called Ape Dos Mill, and so I decided Grape Dos Mill. Why not?
Seems absolutely fair enough. But you can also leave any questions, anything like that, in the comments of this video, and we'll try our best to answer them, or rather Tom will. But he's played it, he's given it 9 out of 10, absolutely loved it. Read the review, watch the video, watch this one again, and thank you very much to Tom for his time.
Thank you, Adam.
And we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Cheers.